Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach with Deeply Driven Outdoors. Today I'm going to talk to you real quick about Western hunting packs. I've got kind of limited experience with it, but particularly I want to focus on one pack, and that is the Alps Outdoors Commander X pack. A little bit of background on that. I went on my first Western hunt last year, went spring bear hunting. We're going again in October. Right now it's the end of August, so I'm getting excited about that. I've got a mule deer tag. Buddy I'm going with has an elk tag. Another buddy I'm going with has a bear tag. We're all getting wolf tags, so we'll be doing it up in Idaho this year. And I've recently upgraded my pack to this Kafaru pack right here. This is over my right shoulder. But I wanted to give a review on this Alps Outdoors Commander X. It's the frame and the pack. It's a pretty sweet pack. So for entry-level stuff, I bought it because I thought, well, that's kind of where price meets quality. And in a lot of ways, I was right. When it became apparent that I was going to be hunting out west more, I figured, well, I'll upgrade to something that's a little bit better. But that better pack kind of comes with a little bit higher price range. Well, not a little bit. I mean, really, it's significantly more. Right now, this Alps Outdoors Commander X pack, if you find it on like Amazon, I think it's like $350, maybe even a little less than that. The Alps website has it like 500 MSRP, but a lot of places are selling it for like $350. So I didn't know if that would be a suitable pack, but I figured at the time when I bought it, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to hunt out west more than once. I don't know really how much I'm going to do this. It's looking to be, a lot more of a regular thing. So upgraded the pack for it. But if you are in the same shoes I was in, and you're looking at Western hunting packs, some of the top of the line brands are really expensive. That Kafaru, for everything, the frame, the pack, these external bags and everything, I spent I think it was around $900. Versus $350. So in the long run, I think that money will be worth it. But if you're trying to get your feet wet, you're on a budget for Western hunting, big picture, I think this Alps Outdoors Commander X pack is really good. And I'm saying this to someone like, Alps doesn't know who I am. I'm not taking any money from them or anything. I'm just passing information along. I'm going to run you through some of the features on this pack here. I'm going to tell you some things that I didn't like about it and all the things I did like about it, which is, again, it's quite a few. Short story, I think it's a very suitable pack for Western hunting if you're just getting started with Western hunting. So I'm going to take you through some of that now. All right, so quick overview on this pack. It's 9 pounds, 10 ounces with everything. That's empty weight, but that includes this. It comes with a fair amount of stuff you'd actually have to pay extra for from other like high-end pack companies. Like if you're looking at Exo Mountain Gear, Kuiu, Kafaru, this pack actually comes with stuff that they'll charge you extra for on some of these the top end brands. This external pack came with it. It came with this lid up here. I'll get you a little closer look at that in a second. It comes with 2 hip belt pouches that are permanently affixed to the waist belt. And like I said, the dry weight on it is 9 pounds 10 ounces, which is actually fairly heavy for a Western hunting pack, empty weight, even with the lid and the external pack and everything like that. That's actually, knocking on 10 pounds is relatively heavy for a pack. But it's 4,000 cubic inches. Like I said, I've had this pack for a couple of years, and I had our spring bear hunt last year was like 8 days or something like that in Idaho. So got a chance to actually field test it. I don't review any gear unless I field test it. Let me take you through a little closer look, top to bottom, on this pack. I'm going to take you through all the details and features on it that I liked, things that I wish were different on it, and some suggestions if you get a pack like this. Couple of suggestions that I would give you after having owned it. All right, so starting at the top of the pack, you're going to see it comes with the top lid. So this is something that actually some pack companies will charge you extra for. They like to separate out sometimes all the components of the bag so that you can buy them separately and customize them. But it's nice that this comes with the pack bag, and this is that price of like I said, now it's like $340. I think I paid more for it a few years ago, but it's actually got 2 different pouches in the lid. There's a top one here, which would be nice for anything that's quick access. I've got some gear packed throughout this pack just for demonstration purposes and so that it fills out okay. A little bit larger pouch on the back side of it. So I got, some peak refuels in here just for, again, just to fill out the top lid. But it's a fairly spacious component here. You could fit a jacket in there or whatever. So the lid's pretty much attached to the pack. I have not found a way to take the lid off and attach it to the frame. Something that was a major factor of me wanting to get another pack is I like the modularity of the pack that I bought. So, for instance, if you're hiking into a place, you know, and you have your whole camp on your back in your main bag here, I wouldn't be able to take the main bag off because the main bag is, you know, something like 4 extra pounds, which doesn't sound like much, but those pounds do add up. So if you hiked into a place, you know, you get your whole camp on your back, I want to be able to drop my camp gear and then just have a very light setup for glassing and hunting, but still have the ability to carry meat if I were successful in the hunt. Okay, so moving on from the top pouch, there's another strap here. It's actually fairly decent gear security. This feels like it's water resistant. I have not had this getting like rained on or anything, so I don't know to what degree it's water resistant. I know with most packs, a lot of packs do not come waterproof. You'd want to get a rain cover. I think that's going to be the case on this pack too, but this material, at least on top, definitely feels slightly water resistant if you're just getting like mist or dew or something, but I wouldn't trust it in a downpour by any means. So you got this top strap here to secure the very top of the main compartment. And this main compartment, I think it's the main compartment is 4,000 cubic inches. It might have been the entirety of the pack. But again, I've got a bunch of gear just stuffed in this bag for demonstration purposes. But you could actually stack that up higher than what I've got it. You could have that, you could have gear, you know, I don't know, you could probably put a few more pieces of gear in there and still have a little bit of room. Didn't really have too much of a problem packing my entire bear trip in here last spring. Although we just did truck camping, so I didn't have like a tent in here. I think I did have my sleeping bag and made that fit. I also didn't have an inflatable air mattress, like a backpacking air mattress kind of a thing at the time. So it fit what I brought for truck camping, and it suited the bill for hunting. But I've got a little bit bigger setup now. I'm working the way down the pack here. You come across this little, I guess you might call it like a day pack. It's this detachable little pack. It's a little small for it to be an actual proper day pack, but it's actually a pretty neat little thing. This is another thing that a lot of higher end companies would charge you upwards of $100 to add to your pack. It'll detach here. So like if you had stuff in here that you just didn't need to carry anymore on your pack, you can completely detach it with just a few buckles from your pack. Take a little closer look at this here. It's got this front little grab pouch, which if you just like, I don't know, it's not very big. You could probably, depending on the size of jacket, get a real light rain jacket. Maybe you could stuff it in there, or some gloves or something like that. But that's pretty handy to have. I think when I had my bear hunting setup, I think I was able to fit both my kill kit and my first aid kit in this thing. So, you know, game bags, first aid kit, a knife or two, you know, gloves, that kind of thing, tags, zip ties, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, in here, like I said, I just stuffed it with a couple of peak refuel type of meals, and just to fill it out. So it does have like an internal pocket right here to help you organize your gear. And until very recently, I did not think that you could attach this to the pack by itself, or excuse me, to the frame by itself without the pack. Like again, that scenario where you drop that main pack at a spike camp and you know, want to just have a small day pack set up on your frame. I did not think you could. I learned recently you can actually attach this. I'll show you how later. I'll show you how this whole pack comes off the frame and how that all works. So, working our way down the pack, I went ahead and took that day pack off just so you can see the rest of the main bag. You're going to come down, there's a zipper towards the bottom of the pack, and that actually gives you bottom of your main bag access. This is not a separate compartment. It'll give you access all the way up your main compartment here. So if you got some other stuff you need to get to, like for instance right here's my sleeping bag. If I wanted to pull that out without having to dig out everything out of the top of my pack, you do have some bottom of the pack access here, which is, you know, fairly substantial. So, and also you'll see these webbing straps right here, kind of off to the side, some straps that attach to the side to the frame across the pack through the webbing. You could use this webbing in conjunction with the day pack. I mean, I keep calling it a day pack. I don't know if it actually is, but you could probably use that in conjunction to kind of strap some extra gear in between that little outer pack and your main bag if you wanted to. I never did, but I mean, you might as well make use of the webbing if you have something to clip on there. Like maybe if you have a first aid kit that would clip on here for relatively easy exterior access. And then you could loosen up these straps and, you know, use those to secure something kind of to the outside of the pack. You don't have great bottom support, so it may slip out the bottom, but it's there as a potential option. This is your spotting scope pouch. Decent size, but I have read some reviews that guys that will have a harder time fitting a larger spotting scope in there, and I do believe that. If you have a small spotting scope, it would fit in there. It's pretty padded, so you got a little bit of protection there. I think I put like a camp saw in there. Whatever you got, you know, you just get this extra side compartment. Like I said, if you have a big spotter, I don't think it's going to fit in there, but a smaller spotter probably would. So you do have that as an option on the side. Both sides here, you're going to notice, so I got all these straps undone. Both sides here, you're going to notice fairly generous pouches. One here, and one on the other side. So these pouches would be good if you have like a tripod or something like that. You know, you've got these side straps here to help secure it. Those are pretty good. I would carry a tripod in these pouches. Whatever else, you could probably put a water bottle in there. I'm still a hydration bladder kind of guy, so I don't use water bottles, but those are there just in case. Next thing we're going to see is it comes with sewn in hip belt pouches. So that's something that, again, other companies will charge you extra for. Could be 40, 50 bucks per pouch to put on the MOLLE webbing that come on the other hip belts of these other packs. So it is kind of nice to have them. This is something that I would put, before I had a vinyl harness with a rangefinder pouch. This is where I'd put like my rangefinder, headlamp, you know, you put snack bars, extra batteries in there, or whatever. But there's one on each side, so both of them are the same size. Fairly handy to have those. I do like having hip belt pouches because I like the extra organization. All right, coming down to the very bottom of the pack, a couple of features here. This here is a gun boot that jams up in here. It's kind of a nice feature that they've included it. Yet another thing that some other companies will charge you extra for. Alps just included it with their pack. So the butt of your rifle would sit in here, and then you would probably be able to use these straps here to secure your rifle to your pack. One thing I don't like about this is it's cool that they included it with the pack if you're hiking in, but the scenario where you drop your pack, you no longer have your rifle carrier with you. It's, in my opinion, I would like to see it attached to the frame so that you don't have to carry this main pack to have a rifle holder on you. So like when I was in Idaho, I dropped this main bag on one of our first hunt days, and I just used a rifle sling to sling it on my shoulder, you know, and then if you just have it slung over your shoulder, it slips off. And if you crossbody sling it with this much stuff on going up a mountain when you're breathing really heavy, it's like putting you in a blood choke. So it is nice to not use your rifle sling and actually use a gun boot. And it's cool that they gave it to you, but I just don't like the fact that it's attached solely to the pack. You'll get down here to the very bottom straps. Those will cinch down to help secure the bottom of the pack. Probably let you expand the pack lower a little bit. If you have those out, you probably smush it down a little bit. Something that would be of interest that I have not tried, but you could look into if you go with this pack and you're looking to expand the capacity of it. Alps sells these like waterproof bags. I think they're called, it's like the Alps Renegade bags or something like that. You might be able to stick those on the outside of this pack and strap a smaller one underneath it. Don't quote me on that. It's something to look into. It's a thing that I had thought about before I purchased a new pack, but never did that. All right, so real quick here, I'm going to show you guys how to take this pack off the frame and kind of what you're left with the frame. I'll show you how to attach that little external day pack as well onto the frame, which again, that's something I just learned how to do. I didn't know how to do that even when I went to Idaho last time. So I'll show you how to do that. It's kind of handy. I'm not nuts about the way that it attaches. It's also, as a pack, it's not really quite big enough for like a full day pack to put like a meal or two you know, your first aid, your kill kit, your layers, everything in. But it's nice to have it. You might be able to make it work. So, but I'll show it to you here. How to attach that, how to take this main bag off the frame. All right, so if we're taking this pack off the frame, you're gonna notice a buckle here, as well as a zipper going down the side. It's the exact same thing on the other side. Buckle, buckle, zipper. So it's pretty simple to take this main bag off the frame. Just hit that buckle, hit that buckle. Here, on the other side here, buckle, buckle. Buckles are undone. Hit the zipper. Okay, and that zips all the way down to the very bottom. So we're going to take that off the bottom there. And then you're going to see the bottom straps here. We looked at earlier. Take that off. Take that off. I'm going to flip it back over. Let's get this last zipper. Okay, so we've got the zippers, the buckles, straps off the bottom. Super fast takeoff. I didn't speed that up at all. Oh, I did forget a couple of buckles here. But still, very simple. On the back here, there's 2 buckles at the back that attach the back. So it's got to undo those. So I guess you have like 8 buckles and 2 zippers, not 4. So get all those buckles undone, get the zippers undone, and then your pack bag is completely off. So if you got your camping here, all your extra socks and underwear and your extra food and your tent and your whatever, your sleeping bag, you just take this thing off the pack, then your frame is more or less ready to hunt. So with the pack detached, you still have on your waist belt here, you still got those pouches here, the belt pouches. And you'll see this is your load shelf. So it detaches or opens up with a series of buckles here. I've got 2 on the top, on the side, and then right down here on the side. Same thing on the other side. Okay, got one there, and I've got another one there. So that will open up the load shelf. So now you've got your whole load shelf here, and then you'll see these bat wings on the side. Open those up. Just another couple of buckles. 1, 2, and third one's right here. You can open up that. This is a hydration bladder pouch. The bag itself, well, actually, it doesn't have to be a hydration bladder. It's just an actual little pouch. I put my hydration bladder in this, so that if it popped open, it's not inside the bag, but the bag does have a H2O port to stick your little water hose out of. I didn't put it in there because then you got to fight the hose in and out of that thing. So I don't use that. Plus it keeps it on the frame. So I stuck my hydration bladder in here, but you got a little bit of load, capacity there too if you want to stick like a layer or something like that in here. And you've got these the bat wings that kind of secure your load. So I'm gonna strap this back together and kind of show you, like, this would be like where you carry meat. So for demonstration purposes, I've got a 55-liter dry bag that I just stuffed some random junk into. I'm gonna set that on this meat frame here, just to show you what it would look like carrying a load. So stick it on there, right? I've got the bottom load carrier segment that I'm gonna flip up first. Tuck these dry bag straps in a little bit here. Go. All right, so I got the meat shelf up over my dry bag load here. You can take these bat wings and cross them with those buckles. You got female end and male end over here. And you can just, if you're getting them in the right spot here, cross these babies over, like that, and secure your load in with the batwing buckles. I feel like I don't have this strapped in quite right, but for demonstration purposes, it was the idea. This is probably not how I necessarily carry a load out of the mountains with it, but it's in there pretty securely with the side back wings as well as the meat shelf. It's not the prettiest job. When we went to Idaho, we were not successful, so unfortunately. So I never packed meat out of the mountains with it. But if you'll notice here, you have these bottom straps that also work with your frame. So those Renegade pouches that I was talking to you about earlier, they may actually work here too, or whatever. If you can strap other pieces of gear on the bottom of your frame, buy a little bit more capacity down here. Unfortunately, though, you don't have the gun boot. You can buy an aftermarket gun boot, which could work. So I have the Kafaru gun bearer. They make a universal kit for any pack. I did have it on this pack briefly before I bought the Kafaru pack. So that would work too, and that will attach your gun to your frame, and then like your shoulder strap too, so you have quick access to it, but then it's also mounted on your frame, so if you are just rolling with a very light setup, won't be a problem. I'm going to show you how to attach that day pack onto the frame now too that I talked about. Okay, so leaving the main pack off the frame, right? So like, let's say drop that at camp. You want to take some essentials with you on your hunt, but you want to have the frame with you in case you're successful and need to haul meat out. You could potentially stuff like a layer in here. There is a little water bottle pocket, a small, I call it a water bottle pocket. You can put whatever in there. The only thing I don't like about gear that's positioned on the inside of the meat shelf is if you get like an elk quarter, for instance, you run the potential of like the elk quarter bleeding through your game bag, and then you're pressing it against stuff that, like, this isn't waterproof per se, so you're gonna smash that bloody game bag against whatever gear's in there and get that all bloody. It's not the end of the world, but it's not my favorite design either. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how to attach this here. You got this webbing strap up top, and here on your little day pack, the bottom clips are male ends, top clips are female ends. Once it's detached, go up here, this little deal out of the way. Go ahead and let a bunch of line out there on your strap. Okay. Same thing on the other side. You go around here and you just put these ends up through the webbing up top. On there. And up here. So, pull those tight, just take them out of the bottom, clip, do the same thing on the other side, clip it. And then from here, you can go ahead and take these straps and cinch them down, like so. So then you'd have your little day pouch on your frame without your main pack. And then you still have your meat carrying capacities, right? You got your little bat wings here, which you could close up around your day pack, put the meat shelf up. This would be pretty secure and ride pretty evenly without bouncing around or anything. So, okay, so I got the pack back on the frame just for demonstration purposes. I'm going to show you if you were to, you go out to your spike camp, you drop your bag, you're successful, you get an animal, you want to pack the animal back to the truck with the bag, how you can go about doing that. So first thing here, I'm going to use zippers, all right? We're going to undo those zippers just for ease of access here. We're going to unclip those straps as well. Just get those out of the way. These zippers are kind of a rascal because they go around these internal buckles. A little bit of a pain around those. Got the zipper undone on one side. Those side buckles that we undid in order to get the zipper off, we're just going to buckle those back up right now. Loosen them up here. Loosen that up a little bit. Put them back together. We still have our our bottom buckles clipped. Just leave those like that for the time being. Go over to the other side. Unclip, unclip, unzip. So I'm going to get it like this, where the only clips that are still attached in the pack to the frame, are going to be these two bottom buckles. Everything else, I'm going to kind of have it unclipped so I can access it. That includes unzipping the pack and everything. And get all these unzipped. So this way, or unclipped rather, I'm going to have access to this meat hauler shelf. And we have access to the bat wings right here. Okay, I'm going to put my my dry bag full of stuff in there to simulate a game bag. I'm going to get this buckled back up, and then I'll clip the pack back on to show you how it would work, you know, if you were carrying meat out of the mountains with the pack on. All right, so I got this pack full. It's just full of like junk from my office here. This dry bag, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the straps on it, so it's on the meat hauler shelf. The pack is extended, it's laid out flat, just the bottom buckles are connecting it to the frame right now. And I'm going to go ahead and buckle the dry bag back in to the meat hauler shelf here. All right, tighten it up. I don't need to get it really tight, I'm not actually hiking with it. So, you clip those on. Put it up here. Do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm not really messing with the zipper because that's just not going to work anyway. So we're just going to go with the buckles when we're hauling meat out with the pack. So the meat's on the shelf, and then you can kind of get your, if you want to strap your bat wings in, go ahead and clip those to themselves here. A little bit of a sloppy job here for it, but it's just so that you get the idea. So really your stuff, your meat is on here pretty securely. You're fairly protected with the bat wing as well as the shelf. So you got a series of 3 buckles on the bat wings. Okay. More or less, your meat's all packed on there. So we're gonna go ahead and put the pack back on the frame with the meat in there. For this part, I find it easier to clip the top buckles first, just to get the pack kind of held on there a little bit better. And then we can go get the side buckles here. Remember, the bottom ones are still clipped in. We got 1, we got 2. We're gonna do the other side, then we're gonna cinch them down. So we're gonna buckle this one in, up here, get the top one in, get the lower buckle in. It's a little tight. But really, there you go. You've got your simulated meat bag with your entire camp on your back. So in conclusion, would I recommend buying the pack? I would say so. If you're on a budget, again, for $350, I mean, it's pretty tough to beat. I mean, you're getting all the bang for your buck. Doesn't mean it's the best pack on the market. Again, like I spent substantially more money on a pack that's upgraded. I'm not, if you are hunting once in a while out west, or you're on a budget, you want to allocate your funds elsewhere, it's a good pack. I mean, it's a little on the heavy side. There's a few features I didn't like about it, but all in all, for the money you're paying for it, it's probably the best pack you can get for the money, insofar as I'm aware. Some of the other higher end or top end brands, you know, your Exo, Stone Glacier, Kafaru,